what's going on, y'all? So stretching at night is one of the things that I do, that my goal is to do every night. But being honest, I haven't done it. I do a little bit, a lot of nights, but I don't do nearly what I need. And I can tell because my muscles are very tight from the exercise I do. But anyhow, I'm kind of doing this stretching here. And while I do it, I kind of want to ask you guys a question. And so, the question I want to ask is this. So if you knew that if you knew that you were going to live 120 years, what would that do? How would that cause you to live? And the reason why I ask that is because a lot of times the way that we all kind of consider our lives, we tend to either not think about how long we'll live, or we just kind of assume, we just hope we'll be lucky to reach this age or that age or whatever. But think about this. I got to get my stretching in here and there too, so I'll probably kind of pause sometimes. But think about this. Your capacity in regard to, how long you can live is somewhere around 120 years. Now, this is, now the thing that's very interesting to me is that the Bible actually kind of mentions something about that. But like scientists have seen that based on something having to do with the, I think the length of your telomeres and your DNA or something like that. Like your genetic potential, the genetic potential of humans for like maximum life is somewhere around 120 years. Now we typically, not many people reach that, and it's a lot of factors that come into play for that. But some of that includes like how well your nutrition was at a younger age, and just the amount of stuff you're exposed to, how healthy your diet is overall, how much you move, etc., etc. But that said, a lot of us don't even give ourselves a chance to even consider living long enough like that, because like our lives are so toxic, and not just in the eating and exercise, but also like social relationships, stress levels, how we deal with stress, because stress is a real and natural part of life. But like a lot of times we don't deal with it too well, and that tends to affect us as well. But anyway, if you knew that you're going to live 120 years, what would you do? Because some of us, if we're honest, the way that we tend to live our lives, if we were to live that long, we would be totally just decrepit. We would be totally decrepit. Ooh, see, yeah, my hamstrings are really inflexible. But we would be absolutely decrepit. It's like we would be probably not able to move, not able to do much of anything. So when I was about to come down here and stretch, and I decided, I'm gonna record a video around this. I decided me stretching was what kind of made me think about living 120 years, or just living long in general, and like what would you want your reality to be like living that long? Because the way that we tend to live, where we always indulge and all this kind of stuff, the way we tend to live, we really wouldn't give ourselves a chance to have any sort of vibrancy of life based on the way that we tend to live our lives, because we're not taking care of them. I'm pretty sure that also if we knew we lived very long, we might even have other different choices in our lives as far as like how we spend our time and stuff like that. But anyway, I'm just saying that to say, taking time, for example, to stretch is something that, obviously me, I'm a big exercise guy, obviously. But it's one of those things I've even kind of like not really done well with. but I know I need to because I feel my muscles get really tight, and when I don't stretch, it makes me more prone to injury. But also, not only that, um, but just over time, you just get stiffer and stiffer and stiffer. You lose your ability to move and stuff like that. Oof. You lose your ability to like really move freely and all this kind of stuff, and you just get stiffer over time. You tend to get hunched over, all this kind of stuff. And by the way, I typically have to do hamstring stretches and uh, these hip flexor stretches like butterflies and stuff like that a lot because it's my hamstrings and my hip flexors, the muscles inside your thighs, for me that tend to be the most inflexible. And it actually kind of keeps me from doing some of the exercise moves I want to do. So I really got to work on this. But anyway, y'all, let's think about the way that we spend our time. You know, like even taking time to do stuff like this, taking time to do those little things that we'd be like, I'll get to another time, but then we don't get to them. You know, we gotta do better, man. I have to do better. That's why I'm doing this here, and even part of the reason I'm recording it tonight. I may consider recording my stretching sessions a little bit more often, but you know, I hope that it'll actually motivate you to actually stretch too. Stretch every night, man. Stretch every night. You know, 5, maybe 10 minutes. I say 5 to 15 minutes. You know, to kind of like make the rest of your life better. Okay. But yeah, I try to do a full body stretching routine and hit all the body parts with emphasis on, like I say, my problem spots, my hip flexors and my hamstrings. Ah. Let me hit the hamstrings one more time. Because I've actually gotten back to where I could touch my feet and then I stopped stretching like I needed to and I got back tight again. And so I can't do that. Especially if you're somebody who does a lot of weightlifting, you need to go ahead and get the stretching in. You need to stretch. It'll help you to not it'll help you to prevent injury because the more exercise you do where you constantly contracting your muscles and stuff like that, without stretching, you're setting yourself up for an injury. And I mean, I'm not trying to wish nothing on nobody. I'm just saying I know it from personal experience. But you're literally making your muscles tighter and tighter. Okay. Now let me do this other stretch one more time. Now this stretch that I do here, it kind of is reminiscent of something I did when I dislocated my shoulder, where you stretch out like this. And you kind of reach and crawl out, except we did this on the wall. But this really stretches out all this whole side here. The lats, the teres major and minor, even the tricep, all this stuff. Kind of walk it out a bit, get even more of a stretch. Okay, very good. All right, y'all. Make sure you stretch at night, man. I might do this a little bit more often, but hopefully you're not just watching me stretch. Hopefully you're stretching too. All right.
As we get older, it becomes increasingly important to maintain and build muscle. Muscle helps you burn fat, stay mobile, and can contribute to longevity. However, many people have no idea how to work out to build muscle. My mini workout series on Patreon provides you with my body weight mini workout video library. These workouts use little to no equipment, which means that you can do them in the privacy of your own home. They start at beginner level and progress from there to ensure you continue to see results. Every workout is a full body workout, hitting chest, back, legs, and glutes. as well as other muscles in between. Become a patron today and receive access to my series of mini workouts, plus access to a digital copy of my book, 8 Weeks to Transform Your Diet and Your Health. By combining the workouts with healthy diet changes, as outlined in my book, you'll definitely be on your way to weight loss, improved health, and visible results. Join me at patreon.com/SeanB2B Fitness today.